So we've added an image, we've placed it using the rectangle frame tool, we've moved the image within that frame. Now we want to add some text. So we can't just type. If I just click on the artboard here and just start typing, it's not going to create any letters on my page. It's actually just going to toggle through all of the hotkeys. So what we need to do is we actually have to use the type or the type tool and draw a type frame, and then we can start typing. So I'm going to, I have cap lock off, polka dot, perfume by Chanel, Default's going to be Minion Pro. I'm just going to zoom in here, zoom in. I'm going to get my type tool again. I'm going to select it all, and I'm going to use my top dock here to select any font that you please. I'm going to just use something that I have here up on the top just to make it simple. And so you can use that tool to select font. You can click on your, close that for a second. Click on your point size here, your text size. You can click all caps. You can change the spacing in between all the letters, the tracking. If I want to just go back to 0, I can just click here. I can, well, you can make letters superscript, so that, in the case that would be, so you have a squared here, you can select on that one, make it superscript. You can make it subscript, you can underline it, you can strike through, you can make it a small cap. In this case, it's not going to do that small cap. It won't give you that option because 2s can't be small caps. So, but if I have an A and I want to make a small cap, oh, because I've already used their small caps. I don't recommend using that that preset small cap. It's usually a fake one, so it's not really a nice looking one. But yeah, you can do all caps, you can do superscript, you can do subscript, you can do underline. I don't like this function underline too. I'm going to show you in paragraph styles to do a better underline, but sometimes you just need a fast and quick underline, and you can change the spacing or the tracking of the whole word. So that's how you add Control 0 to get back to my entire window. That's how you can add type to your project. So you can now use your selection tool to move that frame. I can resize that frame just by dragging a corner, or I can use this top little handy fit frame to content, and it will just fit that frame to the content here. Now if I want to type anything else in there, it's going to create this little error here, and I can see that there's an arrow at the bottom here. Just use my zoom tool to zoom in a little bit. Now because I had used the fit content to frame for my actual type, I need to now resize this frame in order to accommodate that extra text. And I can see here every time that there's an error or too much text in that frame, this little crosshair comes up, this red thing, this little red box with the cross in it, and I'm going to means I have to resize my window. Another great functionality of InDesign is it allows you to flow text between text type frames. So I just toggle between all my windows closing and opening using the tab key. So for instance, if I do have lots of text in one paragraph or one frame, and this little crosshair arrow is coming out, so I'm just going to zoom out, Control 0 again, draw a new text box. I'm going to click, it's a little bit finicky, so I use my selection tool to do that. I'm going to click on that red crosshair box again, and I'm actually going to click it again to make what happens is that little ghost of the rest of the text comes up, and that little chain or link image or icon comes up as well. And that what that means is now I've loaded my cursor with the rest of that text that's in that text frame. And if I click on the text frame that I've created, click on it, it's going to now link these two text boxes together. So every time I manipulate this or change the size of one frame, oops, Control Z to undo, it's going to update the text in the other frame. So if I delete one, or say I delete this one, it's going to now Control Z, it's going to always update the flow or the linking of text from one box to another. If you want to see those links, so if you get, sometimes you have many text frames and it gets a little confusing, so you can go into your extras and you can show frames. So I can see here there's that little line between the two frames now, so I can always see where my text linking is. Or so if I can draw another text box and I use my selection tool again and I click on that, or double click on that crosshair there, and now I can see, yeah, I've created another text linking or text frame. So every time, anytime you change any one of these, delete one of them, it should reflow. Yeah, it reflows perfectly.